more team to send to the final of this LCQ. It's going to be one of these two that we have in front of us now. It's either going to be Netshoes Miners or the Keyed Academy roster that is in this LCQ bracket. This is our second semifinal of the day, and this one is going to be on pretty familiar territory, Flynn. We're going to Skyscraper first, Chalet second. Both of these teams played both of these maps in their quarterfinal.
Yep, both of these teams played both of these maps in the quarterfinal, won them both, and played them in the exact same order. Only difference being that the Vivo Keydstars Academy got a lot of work done starting on the defense, and instead, Netshoes Miners showed 3 very proficient attacking rounds on Skyscraper. So, I would say with Netshoes picking this map and starting on the attacking side, as that would obviously give the Keydstars Academy the opportunity to pick the starting side, this is looking pretty solid of a choice of a map for Netshoes Miners to start things off. And like you said, these are two teams that I imagine are entering in on some pretty level footing between each other. But this entire last chance qualifier, we've seen the likes of Black Dragons and Liquid and E1 and now the Vivo Keydstar main roster all be eliminated from contention. These are not the two teams that I think many would have pegged to have had in the semifinals, and I don't think either of these teams would have been a team that would be ending up in the finals in most fans' brackets. But here we stand. One of these teams will be going to the final to face Los tomorrow for a spot in Atlanta, and one of these teams will end their season here, the semifinal. The only difference is being that we have the decider being Chalet. In both of those series, in the quarterfinals for both of these teams, the deciders were Cafe and Border. We never got to those maps because they weren't necessary, both of these teams winning 2-0s in the quarters. It's just interesting that it's a third different map coming out as the decider, and boy does it look like the Keydstars Academy wants to get off to an aggressive start.
Yeah, Keyd looking to make a move. It's Hash who's going to impact the doorway, pop on out, but missing his opportunity just by a hair. I think that, who was that on the rappel? Was that Neskin out there on that side of the map? You got someone like Midi who's working his way on the other side on the rappel, trying to begin to make a move and maybe pressure into Karaoke. Right now, though, the early first 45 seconds for Netshoes Miners are just going to be spent getting into the building. The Gridlock, of course, someone who is going to become very established in the meta in these next few weeks, next few months. We're going to see her again, this time in the hands of STK, throwing out those track stingers just about everywhere down below in Restaurant, making it very clear that if any defender want to rotate down below, maybe drop to safety from Drum or Mezzanine, well, it's going to be a rude awakening for them downstairs.
Levy starts things off onto Hash, though, get the opener, so a good start here for the attacking side of Netshoes Miners, and the frag grenades down below. SDK still having both, Neskin as well with 2 frags in the pocket. Matrix and Flashy trying to hold out in towards Geisha. Good stalling momentum tactic here, but there goes Neskin rotating down below with the frag grenades as well. The vault out of the terrace window and unsuccessful for Mitrix. Basetta will shut him down. Another frag grenade goes flying towards Guto. He will drop Levy and turn his attention towards the black stairs. Has the potential to make a play, but Midi will drop Arthur. So it's just the Valkyrie. He gets one, but cannot claim all the lives. Neskin will shut things down. It's Netshoes Miners on their own map pick, taking the first round.
Talk about making a statement in round number 1. That one was quick and decisive, and the objective, frankly, it never really mattered what site we were on because we didn't really get to see the site played much. We didn't even get close to the execute phase of that round. It was just kill after kill after kill found by Netshoes Miners. A couple of nice nades from below that really spurred an early bit of success for them, and then they continued that with some good transitioning of that attack to that top floor. Well done across the board. The only 2 kills found for Keyed Academy, that was Guto, who found 2 kills before eventually dying in the end. So a good start for Miners, and that will force Keyed to move to a different site now as they need to change things up.
This is kind of carrying over from the quarterfinals here as well against E1. Netshoes Miners winning 3 attacking rounds against E1 on Skyscraper, so showing that they might have the code unlocked for winning attacks on Sky. See the Keystars Academy as well, just trying to go for every run out and every peak possible. We're going to see it again coming out from Hash on the Bandit. He might be going for the Nitro Cell into spawn. No, he's just going to go for the straight up peak, and instead he's not going to find anyone, vaulting back into the window into office. So I also did not clock through all of our rambling. This is a bedroom defense. Little odd of a choice to bring out in round number 2 from the Vivo Keystars Academy. Well, we'll see if maybe this is their pivot point. This is their moment where they rise and they take over on this map off the backs of winning probably one of the toughest defensive sites to win. Midi, though, with the Blitz and the Diffuser in hand, in tandem with the Lion and the Dokkaebi. This looks like a collapse onto the bomb site that's going to be very tough to repel for the Academy team.
Midi just waiting for the moment to pounce there. You see the Blitz just waiting for that opportunity to get into the map and make the move. Waiting to group up with the team as well. That'll be a critical component of this attack to time well. Right now, all alone, though. Maybe waiting for the Lion Scan to come out. It will, but no action just yet. Polar opposite between round 1 and round 2 in terms of the overall pacing. Miners waiting to strike rather than making a quick and dirty move. Now, Mitrix get on the board first to kill onto Neskin there to get the opener. SDK looking to respond, but can't quite do it just yet. The Blitz dropped and finished off without any bit of hope restored for Miners, and that is a key component of this attack that they're now going to be missing in these last 60 seconds.
Here goes Gudo as well onto Passetto. The flashbangs come pouring out. Levy will get one onto Gudo, but immediately traded out from Hash, so it's just SDK on the Dokkaebi, turning the corner towards the lobby desk and is able to down off Flastry. Hash low on HP, and this DMR is going to hit like a freight train. Though, some potential here in the 1v3, with Mitrix low on HP as well. Arthur taking damage in a previous skirmish. Going to bait out the swings from anyone on the Vivo Keystars Academy side. SDK constantly bouncing back and forth, and now that he's removed the intel on him in the form of that Valkyrie camera, the swing does come from one, but it's a double swing, and Mitrix will drop SDK after Hash meets his maker. And it's a 1-1 game off the backs of, like I said, a bedroom defense. Not the most common phrase on this map.
Yeah, a site that we almost never see. I mean, even as far as tertiary bomb sites are concerned, not even just primary and secondary, I mean, we usually see kitchen and barbecue brought out. We rarely see the house side of the map come into play, other than that top floor, other than exhibition and office, right? It's an easy thing to miss. The bombs are in almost identical positions as far as their silhouette on this side of the map. So it's like, wait a minute, are we upstairs? Are we downstairs? Well, Miners, clearly a rude awakening for them, as they had to figure out a way to deal with that bottom floor defense, something that it appeared they were ill prepared to do. They had a good read on that early. It wasn't like they didn't know what bomb site they were headed. They just didn't have a good approach in mind. And I think that was very clear from the way the Blitz came into play in that round, or I guess the way the Blitz didn't come into play. Usually if you bring a Blitz, that's where a lot of your attacking hopes are going to lie, and that's a lot of focus has to be on that play as well. But not only did the Blitz not get involved until about 90 to 120 seconds into the round, but it found absolutely nothing, right? There was just not a lot of coordination alongside that operator, just not a lot that showed us that Miners were prepared and ready to go for an execute on that site. So a good adjustment and a good choice for Keyd Academy to bring that one out. They tie us up at 1 as a result, and they're looking to keep going with that advantage. Here goes Hash out the window. A kill onto Midi there. Doubtful that he will be able to survive much longer, but a good early damage nonetheless.
This is one awkward fight. We've seen a lot of Solaces ended up on the exterior of Skyscraper in this LCQ, and SDK will finally put Hash to rest. So, the excursion outside, like you said, does claim the life of Midi, but will be traded out in good response there from Netshoes Miners. You can see Hash, again, he was just checking at the bottom of the Black Stairs window for the entire time, looking for a Claymore, or an air jab, or something. Dissuaded him from going for the jump, and as soon as he saw nothing and heard the rappel, it was game over for Midi. DMR up against a P90 flying out the window. It's a tough battle to win for anyone. And unfortunately for Midi, he lost that engagement. At least his team had his back on the trade. Wasn't able to get back into the bomb site for free. Frag grenades going soaring up here from SDK, trying to remove anything, the bandit batteries off of the Geisha exterior wall to try and facilitate Levy opening up the wall. And as I say that, Levy will open up the Skull of Flastry instead. Askin trying to push his way in towards the top of the Black Stairs as well. As again, this is a defense that the objective is office and exhibition, but we have paid so much attention just about everywhere but the objective.
Right, there's so much focus from both this attack and this defense at this entire map as a whole, right? You saw that from Hash early, jumping out the window on the complete opposite side of the map, showing that roam, showing the importance of that extension, and, well, of course, showing that a little surprise can go a long way. That certainly slowed things down for this Netshoes Miners attack, and while they're fighting tooth and nail to maintain this one-man advantage, Neskin will do that with a good kill there in the end, but still a 3v2, 40 seconds, and they still have to make their way over towards the site. They've cleared out the most of this west side. Guto is really the last player standing in their way of an actual execute, and there he goes. He will get felled. Levy downed outside the office wall. That drops a diffuser and will slow things down even further, but these two players, all they've got to do is chase the kill. On a 2v1 like that, they made the right choice, and they will end up securing the round for Miners.
Yeah, that started to get doable on the defense in terms of the 1v3 with the case lost, but yeah, and just overexposing himself, not really having anywhere to end up. Collapse there, and good recovery, like I said, for Netshoes Miners, surrendering this opening pick, and yet on the attacking side, they just play the numbers advantage onto the bomb site, continuously trade out, and even at a 2v1 at the end, making sure they're collapsing at the same time. So we're seeing the attacking proficiency for Netshoes Miners on this skyscraper map, possibly aided by the aggression coming out from Vivo Keedstar's Academy. But nonetheless, very impressive attacking rounds that we saw in the quarterfinals for Netshoes against E1 yesterday, and continuing on here today. Again, it seems like their kryptonite is the bedroom defense for whatever reason that is, but attacking the normal bomb sites on this map has gone fairly well for them thus far.
I wonder if that means we might see this Academy team try to bring out maybe that other tertiary objective, maybe try to throw in Kitchen and Barbecue instead of rotating between these primary sites. Very clearly, Netshoes Miners are comfortable on those primaries, like you mentioned. So maybe we have to see that adaptation come from this Vivo Keedstar's defense. We'll see. We'll see. Only 3 rounds in, both teams, still a lot to figure out, still a lot to feel out about each other right now. As we said, they both had exceptional performances on this map yesterday and the day before. They both had their upset wins against E1 and Black Dragons, respectively. So certainly both teams have it in them to win this map and to do it in spectacular fashion. But we'll just have to see what they can both come up with here as Miners look to get an early start to this one. Geisha, the first place that they are going to pressure. And Besetto will have to quickly get a read on what exactly lies in wait on the other side, because Flastry always interested in going for a bit of a run out here or there.
Well, it seems like Midi, after getting killed by Hash going for the jump out of the Black Stairs window, said, I'm going to put my face in this and never let anyone jump out on me again. And unfortunately, Hash did cross his window, but he was only able to deal about 50 damage onto the Valkyries. Flastry will avoid the frag grenades, and Hash able to escape making a mistake downstairs, and as well will drop Neskin. There goes at least 2 of the frag grenades off the board, and there goes the last one from STK. So, much better perseverance here upstairs, able to avoid the nades and not surrender the opening pick here for the Vivo Keedstar's Academy defense. You can see Midi, though, rotating with the diffuser. STK working his way up the main stairs. Still haven't done enough to dissuade anyone from playing inside of Geisha, and there goes Hash again, the man that got away, doing damage onto the side of the Netshoes Miners attack. This collapse in towards the bomb site now, not going well, being picked apart by one MPX that was allowed to escape at the bottom of those black stairs.
Hash staying active relocated means that STK might have an opportunity to sneak in from behind. Nope, just kidding. That's Flastry to deny it. Nice crossfire set up. Miners denied entry into Geisha. Bassetto still here on the rappel for the majority of the round, has been outside on that Geisha balcony. Finally, we'll have a chance to shine, getting just one kill there. That is just about it for the hopes of this Netshoes Miners attack. So much for the primary bomb site thought that we had kind of thrown out there. Vivo Keydstars, they made sure that they will find a way to bounce back on Karaoke T. The diffuser all the way on the other side, so Bassetto is going to take the time to at least rotate over there. Gonna forego picking up the diffuser though, because it really doesn't matter at this point. A nice kill onto Mitrix. But again, 1v3 now. One player from behind, make it a 1v2, but all that will do is just to buff up the stats there for Bassetto, make him look a bit better in that supportive role, but an otherwise uneventful round for Miners across the board.
Yeah, tough one there for Midi, like I said, just allowing Hash to escape when he was holding that flank on the rappel on the Black Stairs window. But really just much more aggression coming out from the Vivo Keydstars Academy defense in the proper locations, trying to make sure that they're rejecting anyone from entering in down below with the frag grenades. Not getting caught up by those frag grenades either, so able to avoid the explosive death from underneath and able to make sure that they don't surrender that Geisha control throughout the entirety of the round. Much better response there for Keydstars Academy. And now, like you said, we're going to see all 4 bomb sites on this map, at least on the defensive side of Vivo Keydstars, bringing out the barbecue and kitchen. This is a tricky one. You do have Office and Exhibition available to you to go back to currently, or, again, if you're very adventurous, you could go back to Bedroom. It is one of the 2 bomb sites you have won. The world is their oyster, and they choose to go to barbecue and kitchen. So maybe these tertiary bomb sites are the answer. Maybe they are the Netshoes Miners kryptonite. Maybe they're just responding much better than they did in the first couple rounds.
Yeah, tied up at 2, so we go back to, I suppose, the drawing board for both teams. A new objective, new defense here for Keyd, and a new attack for Miners now to see what they've got on this objective. They don't bring out the blitz, so hopefully they're not going to look as befuddled as they did last time they tried to attack one of these first floor sites. But they will still have a lot of frustrating utility to chew their way through. You've got Guto, right, on the Fenrir. Those dread mines are going to come out and are going to be quite the nuisance for this Miners attack to deal with. That's why, hopefully, someone like the Brava and those Kludge drones can alleviate some of that pressure. But it'll take time. Time, of course, something that Miners want to keep. Well, Miners really want to keep going their way. Near disaster strikes for Vivo Keys there, as almost a team kill happened. Flastry letting a couple of bullets fly in Hash's face. So far, unscathed, both teams, as they work their way up.
Yeah, both teams spending a minute not really accomplishing a whole lot. One frag grenade is being used at the bottom of the Black Stairs window once again. Arthur will persevere, though. Avoid another frag grenade, but Guto taking a lot of damage, and there goes Mitrix getting down at the T-door. SDK will finish him off. Walking into the smoke, and Levy will clean up Arthur. It's now the aggression in towards T from the top side, but no, the flank comes out from Hash. The man they cannot pin down in one location, going on a rampage now, and Flastry inside of Geisha as well will shut down Levy's entrance at the top of the Black Stairs, leaving Midi and Neskin alone now in a 2v3. And Guto's been revived, so this is a very tough position to be in. Now they're going to try and head topside. They got to recover the diffuser and then work their way back down to the bomb site. Awkward engagement across the railing, but Neskin will drop Hash, waiting for the rotate from Flastry, and he just looks away at the most inopportune time, leaving Midi alone in the 1v2. No diffuser control as of yet, and Flastry not holding the same angles as previously will allow Midi to slowly encroach up the hallway towards Geisha. Trying to find an angle towards the Warden, as then it would just be a 20 HP Guto. Laying in wait, but there goes the EDD. It'll drop some health off of Midi. And Midi! The turn, the preemination towards the main stairs. An unbelievable 1v2 clutch. And the Vivo Keydstars Academy exposing themselves at the end of the round.
Wow, what a 1v2. Way to make that one happen. You saw it. It was a dicey situation with so little time left. Then Midi walks into the EDD from the cap can. You gotta think that round is over, but Flastry misses his chance, and Guto, I think, probably just didn't see the head of Midi. Slight, I would say, Peeker's advantage, but they are in a LAN environment. They really shouldn't have that sort of difficulty to deal with. It was just a heads-up gunfight from Midi. He was ready. Probably had some info to work with because he knew exactly where to look, and he knew exactly what had to be done to give Miners the round. But snatching one away from this Keyed Stars team that really looked like they were about to take their third defensive win.
Really should have as well. Just a 3v2 down to the 2v1 and still just unable to stop Midi and his Para 308. And for Netshoes Miners now with 3 attacking rounds, they have equaled their performance against E1 yesterday with the opportunity to even one-up themselves from yesterday and get 4 attacking rounds. We are heading back to Office and Exhibition for the last round of the first half here in the Vivo Keyed Stars Academy. They look to be successful for the first time on this bomb site. They've gone around the world on Skyscraper thus far in the defense, just trying to find something that fits for them and something that can cause some issues for Netshoes Miners attacks. They've had some success, but they can't go back to T Karaoke. And I imagine if you were gonna just throw it out there, what bomb site do you think is more viable in terms of getting a 1-round win? What are we doing? Okay, I guess we're waiting for the frag grenade down below, and we are just not accounting for a magnet coming in. Like I said, if you're gonna go for one bomb site to win you 1 round, you probably take Office Exhibition over running back bedroom a second time.
But a good observation there, because Levy only 1 exothermic able to get actually put on a wall and used. And that's the only hard breaching that Miners are going to be able to get done here unless Basetto is able to kind of sneak around and make those X-Kairos work. Now, Basetto, as long as he can stay alive, which he's been doing quite well so far, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. But right now, the focus for Miners, it's dealing with these players on the other side. It's dealing with someone like Flastry. Midi's done that well. SCK, now looking to support that position, knows that Hash is probably nearby supporting this, but is just looking for his moment to step on up. Up he comes. Hash backing off, a bit more of a passive angle. He'll end up winning that fight anyway. So the 4v4 now back to even, but as I say that, look who it is. Basetto, who I mentioned a moment ago, would likely be the hard breach now to focus on, is actually getting involved in these heads-up gunfights. There's another one. This time it's Mitrix to go down. Arthur able to take care of Basetto in the meantime. Essentially 3v2 here for Miners.
Yeah, Mitrix bleeding out, and not quite sure if he's resable with that presence from the X window, so tough one to be in there if you're Mitrix bleeding out on the floor. At least you can be a human drone laying on the ground. Neskin taking a lot of damage from that MP5K, and Gudo and Arthur are going to double team inside of Dragon. Try and repel the rest of the advance coming from the attacking side of Netshoes Miners. Gudo constantly bouncing back and forth between the angles, but there goes Arthur. It leaves Gudo alone in the 1v3. Make it a 1v2. No! It was Levy who cleaned up the down. I just thought with the positioning of that reticle that it was a headshot, but no. Levy picks up 3 at the end there. Not sure if he was the one to originally down off the Bandit of Mitrix, but nonetheless, it's Netshoes Miners taking a 4-2 lead on the attacking side of Skyscraper.
But really a half that should absolutely be 3-3 if it wasn't for that 1v2 clutch from Midi. So, Vivo Keys, I mean, they clearly know that they are close. They know that this lead is just a slight one. But they are still going to have to put together some pretty decent attacks to bridge this gap. 2 rounds is no joke, right? It can disappear in 6 minutes, maybe even less if you're quick and aggressive, but at the same time, that can extend to 5-2, that can extend to 6-2 before you know it, and all of a sudden you're playing for the map. So they are going to have to keep an eye on that scoreboard and see what they can do to get back on the horse as quick as they can. So far, I'm really going to be focusing on Ash and what we see from him on this attacking side. He was involved in 3 of those entry engagements on the first half, just on the defensive side, going 2-1 overall on the entry, but now you put him on the attacking side. I'd imagine he gets pretty active, but over here playing a supportive role, playing on the ace, might mean that we see him take a more passive role. It'll be interesting to see exactly how these players fit in and slot into those roles, though, as we work our way into round number 7.
Well, we saw the early round shenanigans coming out from the Vivo Keydstars Academy, jumping out, impacting for runouts, just trying to get in the face of anyone on Netshoes on the attacking side. Gudo, though, will drop Levy to start things off, so a good start to the attacking side. Another one here as Hash is able to make his entry at the bottom of the house stairs. Now it's suddenly a 5v3. Eskin was aiming to go for that jump out on the Dragon balcony. A lot better of it. He's watched 2 of his teammates fall in the blink of an eye. He's trying to contend with the Geisha insertion coming from Vivo Keydstars Academy attack. The upside down rappel, just as their Headbana had done but previously. Flastry is going to catch Neskin out. Unfortunate there as another one goes wandering to the window. And just like that, like you said, Jonah, in a blink of an eye, in the flash of an instant, a 5v5 becomes a 5v2, and this could be a one-round ball game in just a mere matter of moments.
Yep, it just happens that fast. Especially with these two teams, I mean, we know what they're capable of. Clearly, after seeing these first 6 rounds transpire, we know how quickly, how confidently this Keydstars team is comfortable moving in, taking space. They've done it well here in round number 7. Midi can't do it from the long range with the 416, so it all comes down to Basetto on the smoke. The SMG-11 will get one, the Bear Trap another. This one is doable, but not great considering Basetto is so low on HP already. Second Toxic Babe goes out, does not touch the diffuser going down, however, so this one is now a post plant with Basetto fighting against the world. To look to deal with this drum player first. The shotgun connects, but it's not enough. And Ash will shut him down, taking the round for Vivo Keydstars.
Hash letting them know. And honestly, I think for Vivo Keydstars, this is a team that likes their aggression, and they're responding well to their aggression, the aggression being brought in kind. You can see them decimate those early peaks and those early roamers, just being isolated across the map, and Netshoes Miners might have to recalibrate what their expectations are in terms of dealing with these quick advances in the early portions of the round, as it certainly did not seem like they were expecting as much resistance as they inevitably faced. So we're going to move away from teen karaoke on the side of Netshoes Miners. We're going to go over to Office and Exhibition. It's been a wonky game in terms of what bomb sites are successful and which ones aren't. I imagine for Netshoes Miners, this is a situation where they just kind of peel back a little bit and play closer to the bomb site. We can get back onto a sense of normalcy in a hurry. And I think for the VKS Academy here, this is an opportunity to keep your foot to the throttle and continue the tempo, because that was a very fast round. You know, the plant was down with a minute left in the round, and it was a 5v2 with, I think, like a minute 30 left in the round. So very swift round, very efficient round, very good response for the Vivo Keydstars Academy on their first attack round on a map that is very defender-sided normally, but we have seen some exceptions.
Looking to make their mark here on their attack. Second round, go a long way to really shutting this Miners team up. Getting the attacking ground running, per se. You got Hash, who was on that ace before, was playing that more supportive role, but now on the Finka, might see something a bit more explosive there, especially as you also see Gudo switching over to the Dokkaebi. They want to get this pressure going early, though. They will have to deal with some of these players, some of these defenders playing a bit more aggressive, a bit more forward. Talk about a C4 toss for the ages. STK. What a throw, and the Finka is already gone.
Yeah, there go the nades. There goes the Finka. A beautiful start for Netshoes Miners. Like I said, kind of peeling back a little bit, but it's actually the aggression coming out that seems to be confounding the Vivo Keydstars Academy. This impact hole into the Geisha wall. As soon as that was brought out by Levy, the Wamai playing just outside of the Geisha hallway, as soon as that impact landed onto the Geisha wall, everyone in the Vivo Keydstars Academy responded and moved away from it. Said, okay, we're not dealing with this. We got to go a different route. And just afforded the opportunity for that rappel in the karaoke window to be alone and untradeable and no one there to help. And after they got the pick, Netchu Miners have all fallen back except for SDK himself. And it looks like after being droned out, he's going to play his life in here inside of Drum up on the ledge. But here comes Mitrix up the main stairs, and he gets shut down immediately as Midi. It had his attention drawn from the exothermic, but nonetheless, everyone now for the Vivo Keystars Academy hitting the deck, and not long for this world as Arthur tries to make his entrance into the top of main stairs. Last year will at least get Neskin, but the entrance from the Thermite does not seem like it's going to have much success on its own against Midi, who still has a Nitro Cell in hand. Last year, he's slowly elevating himself towards the depths of Dragon, to join up with Arthur. Flashbangs come flying in, and really just waiting for this collapse to come from the last two remaining attackers. Blaster able to push his way all the way up, but he gets rejected from Midi. And looking for even more. Arthur escapes on 1 HP, dropping the Valkyrie. 1 HP. Does have the diffuser. 25 seconds. This is looking very undoable for Arthur, and Netchu's Miners get back on the board and reestablish the 2-round lead.
I think worth talking about Mitrix there for a moment, and the play that he tried to pull off there obviously did not work out. But we saw kind of what the approach was there. And I think you called it out nicely, Flynn. Right when that exothermic was opening up the breach, you could assume that the defense is going to be keeping an eye on that breach, that they are going to be aware of some attackers holding angles outside. Maybe they're going to worry about somebody coming in quickly and using that opportunity to just jump on into the site. Instead, it was Mitrix from the other side who decided, all right, now that they are focused on the breach, let me just sprint up the stairs, maybe trying to use the sound as cover a bit as well. But he did just sprint up the stairs, and that's not a quiet thing to do. And it's also not the first time that either of these teams have seen that happen. Netchu's Miners, they were clearly prepared for that. They had somebody keeping an eye on that position, and maybe they had a camera on it. Maybe they made a call out. Maybe it was intuition, but more likely it was probably just a sound cue. That's not a quiet operator running up the stairs. So a valiant effort and a good one that, could have certainly quickly turned the round into a VKS win. But that's obviously not what we saw there, as Netchu's Miners were able to get that kill and get just about every other kill, cleaning up that defense without question.
So for the Miners being successful over towards Office and Exhibition, they will now run back Teen Karaoke. So we haven't seen them kind of employ the Keystars Academy strategy of, well, if the primary 2 bomb sites aren't working, why don't we try bedroom or barbecue and kitchen? It's a very odd strat, and to be fair, they did go 50% on those 2 bomb sites when they ran them, so fair play to them. But we're seeing Netchu's Miners adopt a little more of a normal strategy from what we've seen from around the world and inside this region as well this stage. Heading back to Teen Karaoke, a very defensible bomb site. And I imagine, again, we're not going to have a bunch of roamers caught off guard, although, as I say that, SDK is once again at the base of the main stairhouse side, waiting for this window to get opened up, and springing into action. The pre-fires are not going to land. You can see a couple attackers from the Keystars Academy masking themselves outside that bedroom and bathroom window downstairs. Ash getting in on the rappel, and it seems like the Keystars Academy will be going for more of a far side across take this time, instead of hunting down the roamers downstairs and then immediately swarming into the bomb site to the top black stairs door.
Well, SDK pointed him out earlier. One of these players designed to get in the way of said clear. Same for Midi. Trying to stay active on this top floor, not just near the site, but all the way on the other side, making sure that Exhibition and Office stays under wraps. SDK does have to be aware of someone down below creeping up into bathroom. Now maybe trying to get a bit more aggressive. That's Mitrix. SDK been very lit up. So gonna maybe rely on the support from Midi here to bolster that. Levy, careful. Careful, some pressure from below. Overwhelming right now. The nade will miss. Oh, no, it will connect. It looked like it may have missed its mark, but after all, he was down. Only needed a little bit to finish him off. So, not the fastest and most successful of starts of all time for Vivo Keystars, but certainly they do have the opening kill, and Miners, they are going to have to be cautious here. There's someone in really looking to get aggressive down below.
Yeah, rappel in through the karaoke window. At least Gudo will get cut down, and Midi responds onto Arthur as well, so the 5v3 evaporates in a moment's notice. You can see here the push from Midi reclaiming the power position at the top of main stairs, but he just looks away at the most inopportune moment. There was an attacker from the Vivo Keydstars Academy circling inside of Geisha. Seems like SDK is occupied with the member downstairs as well. Flastry's the man with the diffuser alone inside of Geisha for the moment. Throwing out a drone for any of his dead teammates to hold, and SDK just getting cute with it as the Finka was looking skyward. Mitrix had no chance of fighting back, but the quick peeks removed the opportunity to go for the spray from SDK. The good news is, though, he's occupying his time. No more adrenal surges, no more frag grenades, chipping away at his health one by one, every single bullet landing, and it's just eating up more time on the clock. Midi comes downstairs, SDK finally finishes off Mitrix, and now it's just Flastry alone, who's left inside of Geisha with his two attacking teammates down below, but Midi will shut him down as he tries to descend the main stairs. And just like that, it's Netshoes Miners getting back in control of the game, putting their map pick on match point.
For as back and forth as this map has been, there's been a pretty consistent pattern of the team that gets the opening kill wins the round. We've seen that happen in all but 2 rounds now, thanks to a nice little comeback there from Netshoes Miners. I mean, they did not have the opening kill. They did not have the first 2. It was a very good start for that Keydstars attack, but they just could not keep the pace up, and they could not take those kills that they had found and really leverage that into an eventual execute. Part of that comes from staying a little bit more individual and not being as, coordinated as a team, not playing those trades, but part of that comes from Miners being in the right place at the right time and taking advantage of some of those solo gunfights, just playing that really, really well. You don't get those opportunities unless you're playing a very roam-heavy, extension-heavy, borderline aggressive defense. It's what we saw there from Miners, and that's the sole reason that they were able to come back and now have themselves on map point. So again, it is Miners who have, every time they've had the opening kill, they have won the round, but twice now we've seen this Keyed team get an opener, but just not be able to close it out.
Go down to barbecuing kitchen, so no bedroom defense coming out from Netshoes Miners. And you see STK again for the jump out the Geisha window. Both of these teams, similar play style, similar map pool. Seems like Netshoes Miners, they had the formula to win some attacking rounds on Skyscraper, and that really is the difference. It's the attacking win rate, really the difference between these two teams. And Flastry trying to go for an immediate entry more towards the bomb sites. We've seen this from the Vivo Keydstars Academy, an aversion to entering in on a parallel plane to the bomb site and clearing across the map. They don't want to contend with the roam. They want to avoid it as much as possible and get towards the objective as an isolation play. Skeleton Key coming out onto the office wall will spring Neskin into action again. Everyone for Netshoes Miners loving to get into the fight, loving to take the engagement. The only problem is he's got Hash coming in from down below at the bottom of the house stairs. He's got 3 attackers out on his balcony. Man, this collapse onto the Legion of Neskin is gonna be deadly. Here comes the frag grenade from up down below, and Neskin just narrowly avoids, as I don't think Hash actually let that one go. He put it back in the pocket, and instead he'll miss the first one. Neskin gonna have a lot of company here in a minute, but instead his friend Midi joins in, and Hash will trade him out.
Good 1-for-1, though, to keep this one even. The Miners, they've got to be careful here. DKS starting to heat up. Neskin goes for another. Again, Arthur's there for the trade. Miners doing such a nice job of playing together. But this is where they're going to get tested. STK is now pretty isolated over in Lounge. He's got a kill right in front of him, but he misses his chance. Flastry and Arthur each get 1. Basetto, the only Miners player who can deny this. Good long-range shot with the SMG-11. He gets shot in the back as he works his way upstairs. His position known. And so Keydstars should also know that they have this site should they want to approach it. Up top, Basetto, maybe he'll look to leverage this vertical control, but instead, it looks like he's going to head back down the black stairs and look to get involved. He does have some options, though, because just like the attack, they don't have to push in right away. They have a couple of moments here where they can regroup, drone this out, and now tease the diffuser. Basetto just barely missing his chance to get that kill. He's got so much information. The ping's just all over the place. He is tracking Arthur all over this site. Vertical destruction coming in. He's spotted him. But he can't quite land the shots, just barely. And in the nick of time, he's able to shut that down. Hash, now he's got to panic. He's got to find a way to get this diffuser down, but it's Bossetto with the 1v3 clutch. The SMG-11 will close it out, and it is Miners who close out map number 1, 7-3 on Sky.